rolling back up. Let's come onto all fours, just for a cat-cow stretch, feeling the need. All right, push those shoulder blades down the spine. I'm going to dip my back first. Just push the bottom up in the air, look slightly up, push those shoulder blades down. And then to come into a flat tabletop, start by pulling up the pelvic floor, engaging the core, and you naturally then want to bring the back up, and then you can curl all the way up towards the ceiling, drop the head between the arms, still pushing the shoulder blades down, and then come back to neutral. The ball is optional here, folks. You can do this without. I'm going to have one hand on my ball. Now, if your ball's fairly deflated, you're in for a trip. You're lucky. And if it's really blown up, you're going to struggle. All right. Now, what we're going to do is we're just going to lift this arm, believe it or not. So you might need your knees wider than they normally are, but I'm going to try and keep mine at chest height. Play around with the ball until you feel that you can lift the other hand. Now that might just be a quick lift like that, or literally an inch, but you'll feel how much that works your core. So relax the shoulders, core on, and then just lift the hand and put it down. Lift, down. If your hand's hurting, the one on the ball, you can just do it without. Now I'm going to lift the arm all the way forward like I would with that opposite arm, opposite leg movement that we do. So just lift the arm forward. Oh, that's mad, isn't it? How much you can feel that. Oof. Okay, let's just relax that hand, the one on the ball. Just give it a rotation. Okay, keeping the hand on the ball, you could always push the ball slightly forward if you like. That's what I'm going to do, slightly easier. And then you put the opposite leg back, squeezing the bottom, keep the hip tucked under, and then just lengthen that leg. Only lifting to back height and tap down. Look down, make sure your thigh is directly underneath the hip, that you haven't bent over to one side. Great. And then keep the leg up. I'm just going to make circles with the ball. Just rolling it round. And quite unbelievably, you can feel that in your core if you put the slightest amount of pressure on that ball. Okay? Push back into child's pose. Head on the mat, relax the arms down. Back of your neck long. It's really nice. When I'm in this position, I like to just go from the forehead on the mat to just rolling into the hairline, to the crown. Just giving the old grey cells a little bit of a kick start. They're there somewhere, I think, in my head. One or two left. That's it. And bring your arms down by your sides, relaxing the shoulders, palms upwards. Relax the back of the neck and the shoulders. Taking a deep breath, and on the exhale, just starting to unravel the spine as if you're doing a full roll up, but you're on your knees, shoulders down, last of all, head floats back up. Oh God, that bit's good anyway. Okay, so let's do the other side, so my hands on the ball. So it is harder if your ball's more inflated. So let's go back to just adjusting. You really do need to move around to feel confident in lifting that hand. So the core's switched on to give you the stability, and I'm just going to test drive it by just bringing the hand up a small way to make sure that I've got my balance. I find it easier if you dig the heel of the hand into the ball and your fingers aren't gripping quite as much. If you have the whole hand placed there, it's not as easy. And if you can, you're going to lift that arm and lower. So breathing in one way, out the other. Ooh, if you lift that arm all the way level with your back, you will feel the core more. I'm shaking the one that's on the ball. I don't know about you guys. One more. Whew. And keep that hand down. Just let go of the ball. Give the wrist a shake. Do that as much as you need to. Pushing the opposite leg back. Keeping the hip tucked under. Core switched on. Breathe out to lift, squeezing the bottom. That's the bit we're working now. So squeeze the bottom, lengthen the leg. Don't lift so that your back dips. Back of your neck long, shoulder blades down. Keep the leg up, and with a fair amount of pushing, just rotate the ball. Just small circles on the mat. And bring that leg down. Just pushing back and then rolling back up. Okay, so rotating and shaking. Okay, grab a drink. You're going to come down. Okay, so this next bit's tricky. It could take a while. So what we are going to do, the easiest way I find, I've got to get both feet in the band. Okay, so when we're on our tummies, we want the arch of the ring on the side of our calf. You can get into your ring however you like. If I was there, I'd do it for you. I'd run around the class putting it on your legs, but I'm not, so it's DIY, I'm afraid. Alright, so, yeah. Okay, so it can be anywhere. It can be around the ankles, or I like mine halfway up my leg, both inside. And then you're having to put a little bit of pressure to keep the ring there. I think everyone's there. When we're all there, lovely, we're just going to rest our head on our hands, back of the neck long. We're just going to straighten the legs until either the ring or your feet tap the floor, and then bring the heels or the ring back towards your bottom. Now, I don't need to tell you that you can really feel that in the front of your thighs already. Okay, just by bringing it backwards and forwards with that slight pressure to hold the ring where it is. I'm not pushing out strongly into the band, I'm just holding it there. That's all you need. Okay, if you want to go up a level, then you're going to squeeze your bum and you're going to try and lift the knees as you stretch and then drop them as you bend. So stretch and then lift and drop and come down. So you don't lift the knees right from the beginning, you just lift them when you're nearly in the full stretch. Then you have put less pressure on your back. Breathe in, bend, breathe out, stretch. Wow, I feel this in my full bottom. Now one more. I'm just going to hold the knees up. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And relax those poor little legs. Okay, so just let the ring flop down. You can boot it out the way, but not too far. And then if your ball is near you, you're going to grab hold of the ball. The other way ring. It won't come off my feet. Okay. So I'm going to put my head down on the mat, forehead on the mat, both hands on the ball. My elbows are on the mat. And I'm going to start coming up into a cobra now. Start at the bottom of your back. So you start curling up through those lower vertebrae, up into the chest. And then if you want to go further, pushing down on the ball, you're just going to try and lift. And then come all the way down. If you don't like the ball, leave it where it is, just put your hands down and do it exactly the same way but with the support of your hands. So you would just curl up from the bottom of the spine we would do with our hands. If you want to come up higher, you bring the ball closer or the hands closer so that you come up higher. And come down. Let's do one more. Well done. Okay. Let's come up to sitting, girls, and just grab a drink and we'll move on to a different